blessing in
a
disguise,
blessing in disguise,
something that seems bad, but is actually good, or is eventually good. So the best example for this is being fired and being hired. I don't know why fired and hired sounds slightly different when they're spelled almost the same. You might have a job. You might get fired. Your boss might come to you and say, "Don't come in tomorrow. You're fired." Usually they're not that direct. They'll say, "You're going to be laid off. You have 2 weeks." And then you might be sad, but then you might get hired somewhere else at a better job. So that would be a blessing in disguise. Something that seems bad. Getting fired feels awful. I was fired once. Getting fired feels awful, but getting hired is getting hired isn't possible unless you lost your previous job. Well, okay, that's not 100% true. And now you're all wondering, where did Bob get fired from? I once did tech support for an organization, and they said, "We want to contract you for 3 years. We can't afford your full rate, so we're going to pay a lower rate the first year, and then we're going to pay a bit more the second year, and then the third year we're going to pay your full rate." And I needed the work, so I said, "Sure." I worked there for 2 years, and then they fired me instead of paying me my full rate. So they kind of took advantage of me. I'm still a little bitter about that, but it was like 30 years ago. I should stop. A fact of life, something real that cannot be changed. So here is a simple fact of life. You will get old. That is a fact of life. All of us, you will get old. It's a fact of life. You can't stop it. It is something real that cannot be changed. You have to pay taxes. That's just a fact of life. If you earn money, you have to send a small amount of that money to the government. You have to pay taxes. It is a fact of life. What is another fact of life? As you get old, things start to hurt more. That's a fact of life. So a fact of life, something real that cannot be changed, or also just something that's true about life. If you want to travel, you need to spend money. That's a fact of life. It's very hard to travel for free. A state of mind is the way someone is thinking or feeling. So I would say the state of mind of these protesters is that they are angry about something. They are upset about something. They are protesting because their state of mind is that they don't want to go to work. They don't want to be at home. They want to be somewhere to express what they are thinking. Because their state of mind is that they are angry or annoyed. My state of mind right now is fairly calm. I'm fairly calm when I'm doing a live stream. Mostly because I enjoy it, and also because it's Friday. I think this is a great day to do live streams because I'm more relaxed on a Friday. So your state of mind right now might be, you might be really intense. You might be taking notes and trying to listen to every word. Or your state of mind might be very relaxed. You're just hanging out in the chat and enjoying your time here. So a state of mind, the way someone is thinking or feeling. A sign of the times, something that shows how the world is now. So here is a sign of the times in Canada. This article says, a silver tsunami is headed for Canada with all baby boomers set to hit retirement age by 2030, with far-reaching implications for Canada's economy and labor market, a new RBC report says. So there's a few things to unpack there. Tsunami is a wave caused usually by an earthquake, and it's a big wave in the ocean. But we use this to talk about other waves. The silver tsunami is all of the old people who are retiring in Canada. We have a whole bunch of people around a certain age, and they are all starting to retire in the next 10 years. So by 2030, in 5 years, there's going to be a lot of retired people. So that is a sign of the times. In Canada, a sign of the times is that there are more and more people retiring. A way of life. So a way of life is how people usually live. So when I was a kid, we had a really nice way of life. We were farmers. We lived on a farm. My parents worked in the barn that is beside the house. Well, it's a little ways from the house. But it is a way of life. If you are a university professor, it's a different way of life. If you are a bricklayer, it's a different way of life. If you work for someone, that's one way of life, but you can also own a business. So it kind of just describes almost everything about people. Like, I miss being a university student because the way of life of a university student is quite... It's simple in my opinion now. At the time, I thought it was stressful, but I miss being a university student because that way of life, like you just went and learned every day. It was a very cool way of life. I kind of miss it. But I don't mind my current way of life. Doing YouTube and working out of school is fun as well. A rule of thumb is a simple general rule. A rule of thumb in Canada would be don't go outside when your hair is still wet in the middle of the winter because your hair will freeze. It's a rule of thumb in Canada. Another rule of thumb is when it is winter, you should keep mittens and a hat and a blanket in your car in case you go in the ditch because the roads get slippery, and if you go in the ditch you are stranded and you need to stay warm. So a rule of thumb is keep a blanket and some warm clothes in the car. This is a rule of thumb if you build anything out of wood or other materials. Measure twice, cut once. That means if you're going to cut a piece of wood, if you measure it and it's 14 centimeters, and then you cut it, between measuring it and cutting it, you might forget. So it's good to measure it twice before you cut it. And then the sign's a bit of a joke, right? Because you can see that they didn't actually follow this rule of thumb. But yes, a rule of thumb is a simple general rule. Yeah, don't go outside. Like if you have a shower in Canada and it's minus 20 Celsius outside, if you go outside with your hair damp or still a bit wet, it will freeze. I don't care when that happens, but if you have longer hair and you like to do your hair a certain way, you might want to avoid going outside with wet hair. Oh, I hope this doesn't spur controversy. A matter of opinion, something that can't be proven either way. So there's a few things with Messi. It's a matter of opinion whether he's the best soccer player that's ever played the game, or football player if you use the word football. You also might disagree with the fact that he plays for Miami. But all of those things are a matter of opinion. There's no fact to say he's the best or someone else is the best, right? It's a matter of opinion. In a sports game, if the umpire makes a call against your team, that's a matter of opinion for you. If you think the call was wrong, sorry, I maybe didn't explain that as good as I could, but certainly, if you said who's the best singer in the world, that would be a matter of opinion. All of the answers you get would be a matter of opinion. By the way, I haven't seen him play, but I imagine that when he plays in any North American stadium, the ticket sales go up. That would be my feeling. Maybe I should try and see a game in Toronto sometime. I'll see. I haven't seen a football game, soccer game yet. I should do that. Yes, I should do that. A work of art. Something beautiful. So it doesn't have to be a painting. It doesn't have to be a drawing. Like it doesn't have to be actual art. It can be. You could say, oh, that painting is a work of art. But you can also describe things like this building. You can say that building is a work of art. It is beautiful. The balconies are all curved and it looks like a giant sculpture. It is a work of art. It is very, very beautiful. So a work of art, something beautiful. And it's usually something made by people. You wouldn't say that tree is a work of art, but you might say that park bench is a work of art. Okay? How would you describe a beautiful tree? You wouldn't say a work of art. Oh, you would say a thing of beauty. Yeah, that's the phrase. That tree is a thing of beauty. That bench is a work of art. You can also call the bench a thing of beauty if it's really, really nicely made. A turn of events, an unexpected change. So if you're driving to work and you have an accident, that's a bad turn of events. You can also have good turn of events, by the way, but it's an unexpected change. You could say, I went to work today and there was a good turn of events, I got a promotion, or I was driving to work today and then there was a bad turn of events, rear-ended a person in front of me. By the way, when you rear-end someone with a car, it means you hit them from behind. From the side, you T-bone them, and then from the front, it's head-on collision. So you can rear-end someone, you can T-bone them, or you can have a head-on collision. All of those would be a bad turn of events for sure.